Welcome back and prepared to be bedazzled, because today I'm going to be demystifying why the real private sector employee job market has been closed since at least 2008 for real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand that pay above the minimum wage pay grade in the broken economy that is in a ceaseless economic depression. So why does this happen to be the case, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Lamentably, much my dismay, much my consternation, much my chagrin, much my grief, much my agony, much my agitation, much my irritation, most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand are often deemed to be dead and highly time-depleting, debilitating, minimum wage, dispiriting, unfulfilling, undesirable, harrowing, distressful, really wretched, and ineffably agonizing jobs that not only dispossess an employee at a most over sacrosanct time, but that also do not furnish him with anything close to even one-fourth of a subsistence wage for affording housing. Furthermore, most real private sector employers are keen on not offering any benefits nor pensions to the real private sector employees. Moreover, almost 100% of the profits that companies earn are reserved for their shareholders, executives, and external directors. Companies are keen on minimizing their labor costs, offering emolument to the real private sector employees at a pay grade that is above the minimum wage threshold would be unconducive to allowing companies to minimize their labor costs. By minimizing their labor costs, companies are at a higher probability to maximize their profits in the short haul. By minimizing their labor costs, companies are at a higher probability to also succumb to a high employee attrition rate, as well as incur increased employee training costs and amplified employee onboarding costs, especially if they have a steep employee turnover rate. Minimizing their labor costs is unconducive to allowing companies to minimize their employee turnover rate. Though more real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand be displaced by artificial intelligence powered robots in the pending future, with the show knows the future is enigmatic and obscured beyond a number of time. There are vacant jobs in the real private sector employee job market. However, these vacant jobs not only furnish real private sector employees with a negligible amount of purchasing power in the form of a minimum wage, but also do not furnish real private sector employees with enough fiat currency to be able to afford to attain an extremely low standard of living. If these real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand are the only sources of revenue for people who work them. By minimizing their labor costs, companies have more capital than they can earmark into being pursuant of expansion opportunities and into being pursuant of research and development pursuits. It is easier for companies to amplify their net income in the short haul if they have minimized their labor costs. Companies are eager to offer massive compensations to their executives, as well as maximize the wealth of their shareholders, as well as offer sizable retainer fees to their external directors. If you're not a part of one of those three aforementioned cohorts, then do not expect to become affluent by companies generating enormous profits. Some companies have a market capitalization that is over the $1 trillion threshold. A copious amount of the real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand that are valuable as this confluence of time and space have hazardous employee working conditions that render real private sector employees at a high probability to succumb to a workplace injury. All jobs should always have safe working conditions. You never want to succumb to becoming maimed. If you're going to become part of the real private sector workforce, then only be pursuant of jobs that have safe working conditions. You never want to contract a workplace injury nor succumb to becoming maimed. I hope that you deem this video to be riveting, captivating, mesmerizing, insightful, intriguing, informative, and amusing. I hope that you're entrenched in the unalloyed epicness. Even though the real private sector employee job market has been closed since at least 2008, for real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand that pay above the minimum wage pay grade in the broken economy that is in a ceaseless economic depression, it is still, nonetheless, to find real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand that pay above the minimum wage pay grade in the broken economy that is in a ceaseless economic depression. If you are profusely applying to thousands of jobs, the jobs that pay above the minimum wage pay grade in the broken economy that is in a ceaseless economic depression are not the vast majority of jobs that are available in the real private sector employee job market. They are the minority of jobs that are available in the real private sector employee job market. Thanks for watching. Have a blissful day.